Welcome back to Football History, where legend. No one could have imagined that this skinny kid would grow up to become one of Africa's greatest midfielders. Salas scored 11 league goals that season, 79 goals. 4 Premier Leagues, 2 FA Cups, 3 League Cups. Does he deserve a statue like Aguero? Silva, Company? For many, absolutely yes. And soon after, quietly left European football. I was born to play football. But at Lazio, the name Marcelo Salas still echoes. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Football history where we has Mark, McCord, Breeze, and the rest, as Zlatan once said, became legend. In his very first season, Zlatan scored 28 goals across all competitions. He didn't run much, but always at the right moment. He didn't dribble with flair, but every touch was commanding. Yaya used to say, "No one talks about Ibra without mentioning power." He could knock out any Premier League defender with just a look. That season, Manchester United won the Community Shield League Cup and Europa League, a pragmatic yet glamorous treble. And even though it was Pogba and Mkhitaryan who lifted the Europa League trophy, no one forgets that it was Ibra who carried them to the final, with clutch goals all along the way. Across 2 seasons, Ibrahimovic scored 29 goals in 53 matches, an incredible return for a 35-year-old in the world's toughest league. Many people were left scratching their heads. He left with full respect, no parade, no long farewell speech. Someone asked, "Zlatan, didn't you come too late?" Zlatan replied, "No, I came at the perfect time to make it mine." Romario, Barcelona, season 1993-1995. Romario wasn't the kind of player you could manage. He didn't show up on time. He didn't sleep early. Why was the lethal striker of Spain's golden generation? He didn't train hard, but he always knew how to show up when it truly mattered on the pitch. When Johan Cruyff brought Romario to Barcelona in 1993, some warned him, "You're putting a live emotional bomb into a perfectly working machine." Cruyff simply smiled, "I need the best man in the box." And Romario didn't disappoint. In the 1993-1994 season, Romario exploded onto La Liga like a samba storm. There, 30 goals in 33 matches, winning the Golden Boot. He delivered a legendary hat trick in the iconic 5-0 win over Real Madrid at Camp Nou, a match still considered one of the greatest El Clásicos in history. And there's a famous story behind that hat trick. Romario asked Cruyff for 2 days off to fly back to Brazil for Carnival. Cruyff replied, "If you score 2 goals, I'll give you 1 day off. Score a hat trick and you get 2. Romario answered with exactly 3 goals, then jumped on a plane right after the match. French coach Jean-Marc Guy. Romario ended the season with a La Liga title for Barcelona, the FIFA World Player of the Year award in 1994, and soon after he became Brazil's hero at the 1994 World Cup. But Romario wasn't born to play inside a system. He was his own solar system. Everything revolved around him. He played with instinct and lived like a street legend. That freedom eventually clashed with Cruyff's strict discipline. By the end of the 1994-1995 season, after a string of conflicts, Romario left after just 2 seasons, scoring a total of 53 goals in 84 matches. But the answer came quickly. He moved to Flamengo, leaving Barcelona in shock. But if one season is all it takes to be remembered at Camp Nou, then Romario did it in the boldest way possible. Robin van Persie, Manchester United, season 2012-2015. All of England was stunned when Robin van Persie, Arsenal's icon, captain, and heartbeat, signed for Manchester United. Not Man City, not Juventus, turning it into a bridge for African talent to cross into Europe. But United, Arsenal's biggest rival, the one team that had haunted them for years. I listened to the little boy inside me. Van Persie said, a sentence that was both sweet and painful, especially for Gooners. Then came the 2012-2013 season, and it felt like it had been scripted by a master storyteller. Van Persie became the Premier League's top scorer with 26 goals, adding 9 assists, contributing to over 40% of Manchester United's total goals. Old Trafford erupted. At 18, Sir Alex smiled. Van Persie raised his hand. a hand that had never touched a Premier League trophy before. And finally, he lived his dream. A dream that could never come true at Arsenal. That season, he played 48 matches, scored 30 goals, won the Golden Boot, and was named Manchester United's Player of the Year. But after the glory came the decline. Sir Alex retired. Moyes came and went. Today, Yaya was one of the first to make the jump. Van Persie struggled with injuries and lost his sharpness. He remained one of the team's best strikers, but was no longer the centerpiece. In the summer of 2015, he left United for Fenerbahce, ending a 3-year stint with 105 appearances, 58 goals, and 21 assists. Van Persie came fired the final shot to send Sir Alex out in glory, and quietly left during a chaotic transition period. But for United fans, that name still holds weight. All the names we've mentioned didn't stay long, but each of them left behind one golden season. Back then, a historic moment, and images forever burned into the minds of fans. Longevity isn't always the measure of greatness. Sometimes one brilliant season is all it takes to be remembered forever. Who else do you remember players who came for a short time, but shook an entire club to its core? Drop a comment and let's relive those unforgettable football moments together. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, so we can keep bringing you more in La Liga. Pacey striker. His talent didn't go unnoticed. Arsene Wenger at Arsenal took interest. Yaya had a trial with Arsenal. Toure brothers. Instead of waiting, Villa and his teammates drew 1-1 with Barcelona to seal the La Liga title. This isn't a tribute to everlasting icons who built legacies over decades. In the free one season, one title. Villa came, scored, fought, conquered, and left. No complaints, no regrets. They became more than partners. They became family. Now, he had fully transformed from a strike, a phone call that lasted just 2 minutes. No farewell party, no tribute, just a call. In 2007, he joined Atletico Madrid on a free transfer. $7 million, just one day after Thierry Henry's arrival. His pride and his fire. Players who appeared briefly, but burned bright enough to be remembered forever. Ronaldinho. And he responded the only way he knows how, with goals. 21 goals in 32 La Liga matches, including a clutch winner against Valladolid on the final day, securing Atletico's 11th league title in history. In the following season, age and injuries began to catch up with him. He managed just 11 goals in La Liga, and Atletico failed to defend their crown. His contract wasn't renewed. They came, they conquered, and they moved on, yet left behind moments that still give fans goosebumps. But no one blamed him. Because to the fans, Luis Suarez didn't come to build a dynasty. He came to write one epic chapter, glorious and full of pride. In total, Suarez played 83 matches, scored 34 goals, provided 6 assists, and left as a hero. He returned home to Uruguay. Gabriel Batistuta, as Roma season 2000-2003. When Gabriel Batistuta arrived in Rome, people called him a 31-year-old bought for €36 million. A massive fee at the time, especially for a striker believed to be past his prime. But Fabio Capello saw things differently. He needed a killer in the box, someone who could turn Roma from a beautiful but ineffective team into kings of Italy. They are proof that in football, greatness doesn't always need years. And Badigal was the answer. In his very first season, Batistuta scored 20 goals in Serie A.